Okay, and welcome to race 2 of the GR Cup, the GRcade Cup. Not expecting any rain today, although we did have a rain-affected qualifying session. We'll get to that in a moment, but just a quick look at the current standings. We can see Vermilion is ahead of Cheeky Devlin. But what I can show you is a Cheeky got pole from Victor Meldew. Turn the Star is third, Vermilion only fourth, with Falsey and Robbo on the third row. Bit of a disappointing run for Katano Sport. We're expecting great things from them, but they could only manage ninth. Captain Kinopio only 10th for us. I was hoping better for the Charity Motor Group. And then as we go further down the order, a mixture of tyres. We're running the super softs, the softs and the mediums. And as we get down to the back end, Captain Red Dog and Kutoof, again, both would be expecting more than 9th row, which is pretty poor to see from them. So we'll get into the race. Don't need to see that again. So I'm going to check Vermilion off the start. Oh, really poor start there. Manages to hold on to 5th. No, Floyd Free gets ahead of him. That's really poor as they come round the first corner. We are going to jump up to Mildew. He's just lost now. He was starting in 2nd place and he's down to 4th. That's really poor. Off return of the start. I didn't spot that. He's up into pole. I missed that off the start, but be very excited with that start he's had. Meanwhile, Victor trying to fight back for 3rd. He's going to lose 5th now to Floyd Freak. If he can go around the outside. Mildew back up to 2nd. He's recovered. Meanwhile, Kinopio has had a dismal start, down to 17th. He started up in 10th from recollection. Really poor there, racing with Red Dog. Teammates fighting. I can't give them any team orders, so they're just going to fight. Meanwhile, Cheeky Devlin is now trying to get a bit further. He managed to get Falsey and a lot of change of positions. Here we've got Urkel now up ahead of Kanbei, who's lost a couple of positions. Racing with Falsey. He's got Robbo on the outside. Can Robbo go around the outside of the hairpin turn here? No, but does he now get the inside for the next corner? Oh, he's not totally squeezed out, but there's another turn coming and he's chopped across him. Urkel down to 7th. I'm going to zoom in a little bit to make it a little bit easier to see. Kanbei now in 9th, dropping to 10th. Memento Mori up ahead of him in that Fortin Motorsport. One of the worst cars on the grid, but Kanbei's coming back at him. Side by side, and he's got the inside into the chicane and he forces his way back into 9th place. Really close there. Meanwhile, Satriales trying to make the move on Vermilion, who is down in 11th. That is really poor. Let's see what he can do there. Meanwhile, we can see Rogner is up into 7th around Urkel. Kanbei just got ahead of Mori, who is the front runner on the mediums, so he's not doing too bad. 8.8 seconds off the lead as we come to the end of lap 3. It's not too bad, and we can see there's a few guys that are pushing, but kind of people winning their races. Return of the Star out in front by 2.5 seconds. You can see Falsey there in 5th, doing really well as the front runner on the softs, and you've got Mori as a front runner on the mediums. So those are the 3 that are kind of going to be interested to see how their strategies play out. Meanwhile, not so great for Red Dog, who is now last, dead last. Can you pull that 19th back from Grinvacat? Yes, he can. Red Dog is on a 2-stop strategy on those softs, so that is really poor. Really poor there, Captain Red Dog. Really sad about that. Kinopio, I did plan to have you on a 1-stop on those mediums, but you are destroying those tyres. Lewis D in 13th place. I think he just lost position. Cortex not doing so great on those softs. Kanbei fighting with Vermaline and Saturales. He's just boxed by the teammates. Vermaline, he's down into 12th, and he's got to be ruining up making his chances last time round. Meanwhile, Mori's dropping on those mediums, and Saturales is now the front runner on mediums. Kambe trying to go up the inside. Oh, who was that behind? I think that was Lewis D. I'm struggling to see that on the side there. Yeah, Lewis D, who's sized up through quite a few of them. Now fending. We're trying to get past Cortex. We're on to lap 6. Mori is about to get pushed out by Kambe. Lewis D is now going to try and get past him. A lot of change of positions here in the lower part of the order, just outside the points. Mori now to 12, just behind. Meanwhile, up here, Robbo has just got past Falsey for 5th place. Got himself into this running order, and I'm just interested to see who he's going to pit. But you can see from the minimap here that Return of the Star is just miles ahead. Meanwhile, we have Victor into the pits. Let's see where he comes out. He's dropping down the order. Is he going to find some space? Well, he will, because he's back of the grid in 20th. Now he's going to fall into this whole pack of fighting cars. I think Cortex is struggling now on these super softs. Yeah, it's pitting this time round. I think the super soft runners have just gone too far. It's probably looking like the pitting lap for the guys on the softs as well, to be fair. 25% here. We are going to pit Red Dog this time around. I am going to put him on the softs. And nothing is damaged, so let's get him going. Let's see if Return of the Star comes in. He does. He's in the pits. Cheeky Devlin goes on, as does Falsey. Where does Return of the Star come out? Ooh. Manages to get out just into 11th place. In front of Vermaline. I mean, that's just not great. I'm starting to think I didn't change my pit crew. So apologies for that. That's bad management. Return the Star into 10th. Mildew down in 14th, but Vermaline already a pit stop behind on the leaders. That is not great. Of the Star needs to make some headway here, though, if he wants to keep a strong hold on that lead, because he's given Cheeky the opportunity to catch up. These guys are running quite a bit slower. Just there. Cheeky just out behind Victor Mildew. So not the end of the world there, because he did start behind him. Or was behind him going into the pit stop phase. And he was hoping to possibly get a jump there. Meanwhile, big gains at the moment. Saturales has jumped up to 3rd place. Falsey's in the lead. But now are we going to see a double stack? I mean, you've got to expect Rogner's going to come in. No, it's Falsey coming in this lap. He's pitting. Oh, they've just left Rogner out to sweat there on those softs. I mean, her tyres are... Oh, she's coming as well. It's a double stack. It's a double stack there. Let's see how that plays out. I mean, Falsey's going to come back out in 10th. Just gets passed by Robbo. Can he fight back into this hairpin? He's trying, but I do think that Robbo is going to have the edge on him. But he does have the inside. Oh, they're fighting every inch of every corner. But Falsey's just got the edge there. No, Robbo is coming straight back at him. Got a nose ahead. Got to be careful. These guys could crash from this this fighting. Yeah, Rogner didn't do too bad. Still well, lost maybe a second in that pit stop phase for double stacking. Meanwhile, it looks like Robbo's got ahead. Lewis D in the pits. Let's see where he comes out. He was kind of in that 11th, 12th battle, and he's come out about the same. So, not too bad for him. Oh, and I've not been paying attention to Canopio. He needs to come in. I mean, that was a strategy on stop, so, you know, I'm gonna call that as planned. Oh, no. Really unlucky to have 2 mistakes. Canopio's got to eke his way back to these pits. I mean, that's going to be painful to watch, so I'm just going to speed it up. But he's holding up Cheeky Devlin. Saturalis is also going to pit this time round, so let's see where he's going to come out from his pits. That's really... You see, he's done better on his mediums. That's what I was expecting from Captain Canopio. So, shame, Canopio, shame. But it's a good stop. Where's he going to come out? Lewis D's through, so that's who was probably racing down to... Oh my god, last and second last. Right, well, go see what's happening up front. Looking at the lap times here, Cheeky Devlin's quite slow on the 126 versus the 124s and 125s around him. Falsey similarly, although it looks like... oh, Falsey's falling behind Robbo now. Robbo's finally got ahead. He's got quite a gap. He's done quite a lot there to ruin Robbo's race. Now he's got Urkel all on the back of him in that Velan racing car. Both on the same tyre, so that's a straight fight. Meanwhile, Saturalis trying to get past Rogner, although on harder tyres, but that inside line, we've seen it's been quite powerful if you're in that position, in that chicane, and yet just quite a fast chicane. But Rogner takes the inside, becomes the outside, and the way this track flows, you're on the inside into one corner, you're on the outside on the next corner. Got to make that move stick, you know, you've got to cut across your opponent. Meanwhile, Red Dog eating through his tyres. Those softs is he's eating through them. I'll give him one more lap. I guess that's okay. That's kind of on plan, but at 2 stops just not worked out for us. Not too great. Of the stars going to be coming in next, do we think Cheeky or Mildew can make it to the end? I think that's going to be hard. I mean, Canopio in 78, probably expecting he'll get to the end. Saturalis, you expect will get to the end. Kutuf, you expect will get to the end. Not too many other people you would expect could. Yeah, okay, let's get you in now. Red Dog, let's... I mean, I just... Triple softs. Triple softs. Yeah, Falsey's got an outside bet to get to the end on those tyres. Turn the stars in. Drops to 4th. Gonna expect to probably come out 6th or 7th. They go past. It's down to 9th. Manages to stay in front of Cortex. That gives Cortex a bit of an issue back there. But I can't select while this is up. Mistake on the rear left. And Lewis D's now got ahead of Cortex because of Return of the Star chopping him on that straight. It's not great to see. Now what has that done for Cheeky Devlin? He's on a 124. Return of the Star, well, it's a pit lap, but 141. He is pushing really hard. Soy Freaks come in. Yeah, this is the closest race. You've got Grin back here as the next close race. Doesn't come in. Robbo and Rogner come in. And yeah, you know what? I'm putting my money on a Falsey win here. And it's whether Saturalis can catch it. I mean, this is... Oddly, this is probably the race here. Saturalis and Urkel. If Saturalis can get in front of Urkel, He's got a chance of chasing down Falsey, but I can't see Urkel making it to the end on those mediums. Cheeky might. He's eking them out. He's eking them out. What's he just done? 124. 5 laps left. It's just... He probably has the lap time. 10 seconds. It's just he probably has a lap time to do what he needs to do. Meanwhile, Return of the Star is on it. Oh, tell you what, you know what? I was back in Saturales. I didn't spot Return of the Star right on his tail. If he makes this pass, it's important. He's on the inside, and he's already ahead. I mean, he makes it look straightforward. I say that, but Saturales knows how important this one is, and he's fighting it hard, but I just don't think he's got enough car. And that's a real shame. That's a real shame. He's hanging on, but I just don't see it. So yeah, Saturales is having to back off. Turn the Star up to 4th. What's Urkel? 27. Tyre state for Cheeky. 24. Falsey can make it. Falsey can make it. Meanwhile, we've got some fast chargers later back. Mildew on these super softs. He's going for it. Rogner just had the fastest lap. No softs. Canopio up into 11th. Probably not enough. I don't see Canopio making places, but the strategy was not bad. Devlin's in. Devlin's in. He couldn't make it last. He could not make it last. Where's he going to fall out now? You got to say, you probably would have left him out. He's on those softs. 12 seconds. 13 seconds. That's going to be too much to make up in these following laps. So now, this is it. We've got to see. Return of the Star's got past Saturales. He's got the tyre advantage. He's got to find 7 seconds in these next 3 or 4 laps. And he was slow last time around, but he was in traffic. So that's the race. Can he bring that down? Meanwhile, Cheeky is not that far behind. You got to wonder if Cheeky's going to get a podium here. Mildew, meanwhile, oh, he's got damage. He's got engine issues. But you've got to expect he's going to get that 3rd place. And Saturales, it's been valiant. Falsey pitted. Falsey, no. Oh, he should have stayed out. He would have done better than 7th if he'd stayed out. And he's not even come out on brand new super softs. Those are used. So I'm disappointed. That's some poor strategy from the Van Dort Racing. And I know I want to talk. But that was disappointing to see. Canopio losing the place to Camby. Camby now all the back over Rogner. Meanwhile, I'm going to jump over here because these two are racing hard for the last podium position. Saturales up into 2nd now. Devlin and Mildew back and forth. Is Mildew going to make it here? Sorry, is Devlin going to make it here on the inside? Saturales is making his cars wide, but we know that inside is the right place to be. Devlin switches early. He's on the outside. It's going to become the inside, but no. Saturales just keeps pushing Devlin to the outside, and that's experience for you there from Saturales. Knows exactly where to position his car, and that has brought Mildew into the race. Falsey's up to 6th. He's got past Floyd Freak. Didn't see that. What's happening in the background. And now Mildew trying to get that 3rd place. This is exciting. Mildew is up into 3rd, but those tyres, I think he's going to start losing that performance soon. So Saturales, and Devlin's got all the tyre life. Falsey with the fastest lap. You can see he's chasing down Robbo in the background. Devlin, come on, man. Like, you've got the tyres here. You should be passing these two. Urkel. Is he going to get to 7th place? You'd expect he'd chase... Oh, it's the last lap. So possibly we're going to run out of time here, actually. I've just noticed. Let's stay on this one. Devlin Go. Well done. Finally. You gotta say, Cheeky's he's let these opportunities go here. He should have been second, but of the start, wins the race. But Satriale's in second. Phenomenal. Strong contender for driver of the day. False in sixth. What could have been? I'd have held him out there. Meanwhile, top 10 have now finished. And yeah, there's no more racing going on at the back. And Red Dog, apologies, my man. I've got my part to play in that, but you come in 20th. But Return of the Star is your race winner. Bouncing back from his awful result where I got my wooden spoon last time around. That was a great race. I enjoyed that. Right. Let's see who passes scrutineering and who doesn't. It's always very important. Everyone's passed scrutineering. So, that is your race result. Return of the Star ahead of Satriales. Cheeky Devlin in third. The two Steinmans, fourth and fifth. And Falsey in sixth place, which is not a bad result, don't get me wrong, but I felt he could have gone for the win. Fluid Freak in seventh for the Panther team. Urkel in eighth, Camber ninth, and Rogner gets the last point. Dire Day for Vermilion, down in 15th, drops 11 places. That is not great. Satriales gained 11. That's the difference they made. Satriales, you're getting my driver of the day, absolutely. So what's that done to the order? Well, Cheeky leads with Satriales second, Return of the Star third, Vermilion and the three below him all dropping due to poor results. And Jay still got a fair few on 0 points, not too surprising. It is only round 2. And here we can see the Scuderia Rossini are the top team, not surprising considering their decent performance versus Panther, and Windsor chasing down the Panther team there with only 6 points between them. Meanwhile, there's definitely a bottom 5 that we're now fighting in. So, yeah. So, bit of grief. Urkel tweeting a lot. Urkel doesn't stop tweeting, man. 2 tweets. And Robbo, 92 tweeting as well. Okay, that was race 2.